for school and education, and school makes some noise.
Yo! Woo-woo!
And we're really grateful that you allowed Michael and I to share a little bit of our minds with you tonight. Thank you.
In 1997, the Texas State Legislature enacted a state law requiring the University of Texas at Austin to automatically admit all Texas high school seniors graduating in the top 10% of their class.
The top 10% plan accounts for 80% of incoming freshmen. The remaining 20% are evaluated based on grades, test scores, leadership qualities, talents, family circumstance, and finally,
Race. In 2008, Abigail Fisher, a white, in-state resident and daughter of a UT graduate, was denied admission to the university. Although she didn't score in the top 10% of her class, she sued the university for violating her 14th Amendment right to equal protection under the law. She claimed she was denied admission,
don't say it,
because of her race.
Damn.
An open letter to Abigail Fisher.
And defenders of privilege nationwide.
Dear Abby, are you mad or not?
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, you mad.
I'll be mad too.
Study all hard for the SAT and just miss it.
Something the SAT probably didn't tell you about itself is that standardized tests are rooted in eugenics. Slave masters designed tests in order for slaves to fail so they could be classified as intellectually subhuman and thus justify their treatment and the conditions of the plantation.
Standardized tests now are constructed off of white middle-class test groups.
Oh, no.
These tests were literally designed for you. And you still couldn't make it. I'd be mad too. You know, I'd be especially mad at myself.
How bad?
You know, I'd be so mad that I'd probably project all my anger onto, let's say, what'd you say? Minorities. Now, of the 47 students whose scores and grades were less than yours but were still admitted to the university, only 5 were students of color. So, when you attack affirmative action on the basis of race, when you ground that less deserving minority students got in, and yet you say nothing to the 42 white students, we know this has nothing to do with scores, but maintaining white dominance. Don't ask why it always has to be about race. When Europeans decided they were white, and whiteness was defined by what it wasn't, only whites could be citizens, only whites could own land, only whites could go to school, you can't invent the rain, and then wish the world was no longer wet.
Ooh, bruh. Are you mad? Don't worry, bro. I got you. All right. Dear Abby, maybe you should have studied 3 bits harder. Maybe you should sue the University of Texas for
40 acres in the school.
I mean, you deserve some kind of reparations.
Dear Abby, I literally hope you wear Red Sox forever.
That's what I'm going to do. All right. Dear Abby, I hope you endlessly stub your pinky toe on your privilege.
Okay. Dear Abby, I hope you have a runny nose for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You can only afford generic brand, one-ply faux cotton Kleenex made out of refurbished Klan hoods. I hope you wake up one day. I hope you pull the wool from your eyes and see the world, not just the red and rage, the red line in your consciousness back to Jim Crow, back to whites only. That's what you really want to say, isn't it? Dear Abby, you want to know what privilege looks like? To be white and not admitted into the school, which is outside of the range of your achievement, and still gain the attention of the Supreme Court 3 times, while Kelly Williams-Bowler, a black mother in Ohio, was given jail time for sending her daughters to school outside the range of her area code. I'm guessing neither you nor the Supreme Court even know her name. Schools weren't desegregated, they just redrew the lines.
Dear Abby, please explain your comfort with colorblindness. Who does colorblindness really benefit? Who can afford not to see race?
You know what is colorblind? Tracking.
Students, regardless of race, are placed in classes based on their perceived abilities by the recommendations of their teachers and counselors. Students of color are often forced into remedial or vocational classes regardless of their achievement.
You know what else is colorblind? The school to prison pipeline. 3rd grade reading levels dictating the amount of funds allocated for adult prisons.
Suspension rates. 70% of suspended students are students of color, despite accounting for less than half of the student body.
You know what is colorblind? The lead content in Flint's water. The correlation between lead exposure and cognitive functioning.
You know what is colorblind? The Little Rock 9.
The Greensboro 4, a brick singing through your parents' window while they did their homework. You know what is colorblind? Jim Crow and his ghosts. Revenants possessing the American education machine. A whole murder darkening the skies of time from Brown v. Board to this moment. Your pen hovering above it like a blade. I've seen the ghost of Jim Crow walk through your body.
Jim Crow follows me to class. Jim Crow is the reason my ancestors come tumbling out of my mouth when a teacher calls my name. Some days I raise my hand just to high five my forefathers and tell them I got you. I just self-image, a hidden curriculum that doesn't reflect our lived experience. So Abby, why you mad? Why is it that when things don't work in your favor, it's everyone's fault but your own? You've done all you could, making a bed of lies, blanketing truths, silver spooning your victimhood, telling yourself that this belongs to you. Our Americans are vastly different. Glimpse into the window of any honors class and you'll see a broken system, cast like I was typecast, like I answered this role, like I auditioned for the part of black boy in AP Bio, AP Government, AP Lit, AP, till I was absolutely pissed.
I do not believe you desire an education. Rather, I believe you desire to own what another has been historically viewed as unworthy of having. You desire entry through the white gates of the ivory tower for the sole purpose of closing them behind you. If you can't have the castle, why not burn it? If you don't see yourself in the books written for you, destroy the library. This is not a case about what you believe you have earned because of your intellect or your work ethic. This is a case of believing you are old because of your race. Drapetomania was said to be the disease which caused the slave to desire freedom and thus flee. Whiteness is the disease which causes a person to desire the world and thus take it. What do you owe that you don't already have? What do you owe that you won't take regardless? I'm less concerned with the hands of a murderer than I am his mind, and the books which built the ticking bomb inside of it. The whip is less a symbol of racism than the idea in the brain which summons the hand to crack it. You may not carry a whip, but I see the same flick in your wrist with every letter you write. Your ballpoint sings like a hollow point in the hangman's hymn. So keep shuffling your court papers like cowrie shells. So come now and dig.
My transcript is a treasure map, a pathway for future generations who believe that education is an inalienable right. So they dig. For 13 years they dig before realizing they've been shoveling their own graves. The system is not designed for our survival. There's no loans to cover injustice, not enough Pell Grants to make us forget. There's no scholarship for freedom. For us, every box on an application is a casket, an opportunity to resurrect our self-worth. So Abby, I beg you, find the 168 black and Latino students with scores equal to or better than yours that were also denied admission to the University of Texas and ask them if they had time to complain. Ask them where is their outrage. Ask them about their legacy. Ask them about rejection when history chews you up and spits you out. Rapes, pillaged, whipped, chained, colonized, converted, a manifested destiny from seed to shining seed. Ask them what it means to own the land beneath their feet. Ask them what it means to own the body who stay in habit. Ask them about the difference between their reality and your American dream. They can answer you, Abby. It's only because you aren't listening.